Dunaway, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. It's released from February 3rd through the 12th, 2023. It's a 10-day offer. So if you're watching this after that time period, it's over. So, but if you're watching it now and it's currently going on, I hope you take advantage of it. A bundle is really a collection of contributions from a number of sources and resources. So for example, this bundle has over 100 and I think the last I looked about 110 different contributions. And they're everything from ebooks to e-courses to workouts, presentations, cooking classes from plant-based doctors, chefs, creators, and it's all focused on whole food, plant-based, no oil, weight loss kind of oriented content. So, and some things are very directed toward weight loss. There are some actual courses and ebooks around areas such as binge eating, which I found to be very helpful, even though I didn't think I really struggled with it. After I started looking at the course from a contributor about binge eating, I thought that it was very helpful. It was helpful to me. It was by Julie Lance. It was called How to Stop Binge Eating and Start Living Again. I really liked that. And there is a yoga teacher certification course. There is the Mary's mini course, if you've ever been curious about Mary McDougall's mini course that helps people get off of a plateau or make some progress. I thought that was a good one. PBNSG, Plant-Based Nutrition Support Group, has contributed a 170-page cookbook. So there are lots of things. And of course, last but not least, I developed a whole new ebook just for the bundle. And it's an ebook, but I printed it out so I would have a copy of it to show and to look at, because, you know, I'm kind of old school. I like printed things. But my beautiful ebook, beautiful to me anyway, my daughter helped me with it, has 70 recipes, all plant-based Japanese. And I really loved making this ebook because I wrote a story about my mother, my Japanese mother, and have a nice picture of her and my father and their story. And I grew up eating Japanese food. My mother was Japanese. She died several years ago, but that's how I became so interested in Asian food, because I grew up in a household where I got to eat it and enjoy it. And I lived in Japan for about 4 years. So my contribution new to the bundle was my ebook called Plant-Based Japanese that I'll be selling for $25 once the bundle's over. But for now, you can get this whole set of 110 plus different contributions for $49. And that's just during that period from February 3 to 12. So if you don't get it then, it's not going to be available later. Now, it's a lot of stuff, and what you do is you download it, or you get the information on how to get to the link to take the class. But you don't have to download all of it. I know in the last bundle I was involved in, people were so worried about having all of this content that they didn't want. Well, you don't have to download all of it. You can pick and choose which ones you really want. So for example, I went through all the different contributions, the courses, the ebooks, and some of course were not that interesting to me, and so I just said, okay, no, I don't really want to look at that one. But there were so many that were, and if I started adding up all the ones that I like personally, and I have lots of stuff, so I really don't need any more things to look at any time of the day. I have things I haven't read at home, but I found several that I really wanted to look at. I found Kathy Hester, who I really like. She contributed 3 of her most popular classes: the stews for the Instant Pot, a dehydrator class, which I've always wanted to know how to really work with dehydrators, and I'm going to really look at that one, and then an air fryer fun. And everyone always wants to know about how to use the air fryer right. I get that all the time. People have an air fryer, but everything they cook in it doesn't turn out. So I'm anxious to look at Kathy Hester's. And then a friend of mine, Elspeth Feldman, the Speedy Vegan, she contributed an ebook from recipes from Costa Rica. So I love everything she does. So I've just been taking notes about all the things in here. Everything from the Vegan Booty book, a guide to sculpting a peachy vegan body. Now, who doesn't want that? I could use that. So anyway, if you decide to do it, great. I hope you do. If not, you know, just buy my ebook at some point if you want it. But I'm doing a series of videos with recipes from my new ebook, and I really wanted to start with an intro about this bundle so you kind of understand what it is. But remember, it doesn't come out until February 3rd, and it's over February the 12th. So don't wait around, because if you don't get it, you won't get another chance. And please use the link that is in the show notes or provided in whatever message that comes with this video, so that you can use that link that applies to my account, so I'll get credit for it. Otherwise, I won't get any credit for you purchasing it through me. So thank you very much for your support, and I hope you decide to get the bundle. I really do think it's worth whatever you pay for it, and you will get lots of value from it. So thank you, and now I'm going to start making some videos. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, I'm Chef Julia Dunaway, and today I'm going to be making what's called in my new ebook, Plant-Based Japanese. This is the ebook, I printed it out. It's called the Basic Tofu Bowl with Rice, but I call it the Sesame Ginger Tofu Bowl. And my new ebook is available through a deal called the Bundle, Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle, from February the 3rd to the 12th, 2023. And after that, it's available just as an ebook. But for right now, I'm releasing this video in conjunction with the bundle, which is 111 different contributions valued at $6,000 or more for only $49. And the previous video talked about that. But just to remind you, be sure and buy it through my link so I get credit for it, and that will be in the show notes. So Sesame Ginger Tofu Bowl is very, very simple. We're going to start with leftover tofu. So I made this tofu, let's say I made it yesterday, I really made it this morning. And it's my sesame ginger tofu recipe that's in another video that you can look up. And I'll put the recipe for it here in this show notes too. But basically I have to heat these tofu cubes up to use them in the sesame ginger tofu bowl. And I will do that in a few minutes, but for now I'm going to set them back here because I don't want them to be heated up when I still have other things to do. For now, I have to decide what's going to be in the bowl along with rice. So I have a rice cooker, and I'll show you a little bit later, full of fresh Japanese rice. And then I have some vegetables I want to use with my basic sesame ginger tofu bowl. I'm going to put scallions on at the end. I have a jalapeno. The Japanese don't usually eat hot peppers, but I'm in Texas, I like spicy stuff, so I'll put some jalapenos on there because I like them. Carrots, which I'm going to steam. I have a zucchini, which I'm going to steam. Then I have a cucumber, which I'm going to put on there raw, and avocado. Do I have to put all these things on here? No, I don't have to, but I like the variety of different toppings for my bowl. So I'm going to start by steaming these vegetables and get them going. I have this little handy dandy steamer here. This is called Rachel Ray steamer. It has two compartments. The bottom has the boiling water. The top has kind of a perforated area that you put the vegetables in. And it's very simple. I'm going to cut these vegetables at an angle, and that way I can cut them into matchstick size strips after they're cooked. I'm not going to cut them very thick, but not very thin either, because if they're too thin, then they'll kind of melt away, and we don't want that. So let me get these into my steamer. You could use broccoli, you could use cauliflower, you could use any kind of squash, pretty much any vegetable. I thought I had some broccoli. I told my husband last night, and my carrots are organic. They've been washed but not peeled. I don't usually peel them if I don't have to. And I think I threw my broccoli away because I told him, I said, Steve, my broccoli disappeared. And he looked at me real funny. He was like, how did your broccoli disappear? I said, I don't know. It kind of just, it's gone. So I think I accidentally threw it away. But luckily I had zucchini and I had carrots, which I was planning to use carrots anyway. But broccoli is really good with this. So I'm cutting the carrots on an angle. I'm going to steam this for, let's say 5 minutes. It may be more or less. 5 minutes is a good amount. And that way they'll still be tender crisp. The water's boiling. I just put the lid on. 5 minutes is the easiest way to steam vegetables. And this appliance is in my Amazon store under probably my favorite pots and pans or appliances or something. So in a minute when these are done, then we'll go on to the next step, which is to heat up our tofu. And in the meantime, oh, I did want to show you this too for the toppings. I do have a cucumber. This is an English cucumber, hothouse cucumber. And what I like to do is I like to peel a few strips off of it. I don't peel the whole thing because the peel is really thin and tender when it's the English hothouse cucumber. So you don't really have to peel all of it. And then I save these scraps for my snacks. And then I'm going to cut this at an angle too, because I'm going to cut these into some little julienne strips. I'm going to cut everything into julienne strips when it's time to use it. So I'm going to put that on my plate over here. And also the avocado. You know, avocado is not necessarily a very Japanese ingredient, but I love avocados. And if I can get a good one, is this going to be a good one? Oh, that's perfect. If I can get a nice avocado, I think it makes a nice addition to my bowl. It tastes good. Oh, here, I better look at my time. I wasn't even paying attention. Let's say it's been 2 minutes, so I know what time it needs to be done. So I'm cutting my avocado into some little cubes, and then I can kind of do that. You know, kind of like you do a mango, and the cubes will pop out. So I'll put them on my tray here. So I'll have some little avocado cubes to put on top. They'll be good. Don't need many, just a few. I'll use the best looking ones. Some of them don't look all that great. They have little brown spots. It's really hard to get a perfect avocado, but this one's pretty close. Little brown spot, we won't put that on there. All right, so there's that. And then when the steamed vegetables are done, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so the vegetables are done steaming, and as you can tell, they're just in a little steam top. And I'll take them out. I've taken some out. And, you know, maybe I could have cooked them a little bit less. They're a little softer than I like, but that's okay. You know, if you make this, check it at 3 minutes, check it at 4 minutes. 5 minutes may have been a little bit too long because the carrots, they're a little soft, but I kind of like them to be like crisp instead of tender. But some people would like, my husband would like them soft like this. He wouldn't like them tender because he doesn't like his vegetables undercooked like I do. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Now, how we're going to assemble our bowl is first we have to start heating up our tofu. So remember I told you in the beginning, I have it ready to go in the air fryer. And I'm just going to set it in here at 350, like I said, for like 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes I'll get it out and it'll be ready for our bowl. In the meantime, I'll get the things for our bowl ready. So how do I know when 5 minutes is up? Well, I think I'm going to set my timer because the timer on the air fryer is not that good. There we go. The timer on the oven works a lot better. Okay, you can use any kind of bowl you like. I have a collection of Japanese kind of bowls, so this is a good bowl. I've got my rice cooker over here. I'm going to put a nice amount of Japanese rice in here, probably more than I would normally eat, more like what my husband would eat. So it's about a little over half a cup of just white rice. Now I know some of you are saying, oh, I don't like white rice. I only eat brown rice. I'm going to make 4 bowls. And you say, I only eat brown rice because it's better for you. It's whole grain. Well, that's great. You know, eat whatever kind of rice you like. You don't even have to eat rice. You can make this over some kind of whole grains. But I'm half Japanese, and I grew up eating Japanese rice. And this is like premium, really good quality Japanese rice. And I will always eat it because I just say it's part of my culture to eat Japanese rice. And it is. It's something that I've always done, and it reminds me of my mother, and I will just always do it. So good, bad, it doesn't matter to me. And you know, I do eat mostly brown rice. So the Japanese white rice is kind of a treat for me. I have a rice cooker. You probably saw it over here. It's a Zojirushi. It's called a Neuro Fuzzy Zojirushi rice cooker. It's in my Amazon store. This is a 10 cup because I make a lot of rice. I have a big family. I love it because it makes perfect rice every time. It doesn't stick inside. It, you know, you can always count on it to make perfect Japanese rice. I have other ways to make Japanese rice. I recently started making it in a Dunaway, in like a clay pot, and that works great too, but this is, you know, simple and quick to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sesame ginger tofu on here, and then these vegetables and some toppings. But first of all, I need to get my tofu out of here, and it's taken some time. I think I got that wrong. I'm going to cancel this timer. So I'm going to take it out of here, and however it is how it's going to be. And that's actually pretty good. It's warmed it up. Oh wow, it's warmed it up really nicely. So, you know, you see it on here. This tofu, even after a day, it doesn't have to be made the same day. It has such a good texture. It's chewy. And then putting it in the air fryer makes the outside get kind of crispy, which I really like. So I'm kind of dividing it up into onto four bowls, because that's what I have. And I think a block of tofu is good for about 4 servings. That's what I try to do, because, you know, tofu it's a little bit of high fatter plant food than some of the other things, but that's why it's so popular, because the fat content makes it taste really good, especially if you eat a lot of, you know, low or no fat foods, and then you eat something like this, it's kind of like, ooh, that was pretty good. So, got that. And they're divided up pretty equally, I think. All right, put this up, and then turn that off. What vegetables are we going to use on our bowls? Well, like I said, we have carrots, and I'm not going to cut them into any other pieces. I'm going to go ahead and leave them in their nice little, you know, diagonal pieces. I think they look perfectly fine. I'll put a few in each bowl. They don't have to be in there perfect. They make a really nice color, I think. And so I like to have something green and something orange. So the green is usually broccoli, and the orange carrots are good. And then I've got in this case I've got zucchini, because remember my sad story about zucchini? And these are kind of big, so I think I'll cut them into strips, just because they're almost a little too big. So I'll just cut these lengths into like long strips, because I don't want to have to pick up this giant piece of zucchini. The carrots are a little bit smaller. So I'm just kind of cutting the zucchini into strips, and then I'll just put a few of those on the side of my bowl. Try not to cover up my beautiful tofu. So then, get the tofu out of here. Messy. Okay, I'm gonna create a little spot on this one. You know, I've done this so many times, you'd think I'd be better at it. Okay, so a little pocket of zucchini, and I'll make my rice a little more level on that one, so the pocket is there. So a little zucchini pocket. Don't like the way that piece looks. Too many seeds. All right, a little bit more zucchini for the last bowl. Okay. It's a little too much. Okay, so you don't want to overpower your bowl with too much of anything, okay? Too much is not better in the Japanese way of doing things, I don't think. You know, I think they tend to be more, you know, visually appealing. And I have some cucumbers. I like to have a little raw vegetables on my bowls too, so I'm cutting those into julienne strips. And I'm not going to use much of the cucumbers. Just a couple of pieces on each bowl. Okay, so I've got just a couple of little julienne strips of cucumbers. They can go anywhere. Probably shouldn't go next to the zucchini, because they kind of cover up you can't tell what's zucchini and what's cucumber then. All right, so put our little strips of cucumber in here. I have made these Sesame Ginger Tofu Bowls for like big events. There would come some festivals in Fort Worth, And they were really popular with non-plant-based people too. So I was really pleased to see all these people ordering them at the festival that were not plant-based. And they were like, they just like the way they taste. So I said, oh, can't beat that. And then we have our, remember the avocado. So I like the avocado, just a couple pieces on each one. Gives it a little creaminess. So we'll stick that in the corner. And remember, this is in my new ebook, page 24. It's called the Basic Tofu and Rice Bowl, but really I call it Sesame Ginger Tofu Bowl because that's what it is, sesame ginger tofu in a bowl. I'll put some in there. Okay, so now I have a couple extra little pieces. Wow, this is getting to look like quite a bowl. Then I still have, wipe my hand off, I still haven't put my jalapeno on there. So remember, I'm the Texas hot pepper lover. Now I know there's some people that will probably be saying, ooh, Japanese people are not going to put jalapeno peppers on their food, but make it however you like it. So, you know, what's her name? Tabitha Brown, the famous vegan chef. She says it's your business. So it's my business if I want to put a little jalapeno peppers on my bowl. I think it'll make it taste really good. But you don't have to put it on there. All right, and then last but not least, remember we had scallions. Oops, sorry about that noise. So how many scallions do we need? Just a couple. We'll take the scallions and cut the ends off. Okay, so I'm gonna put sauce and then scallions very last, and then we could even put some sesame seeds on there if we wanted to. Don't need many scallions. All right, so now I've got that on there, and let's get our sauce on here. So remember, I talked about Tommie's teriyaki sauce in other videos. This is my mother's special teriyaki sauce that she always made and kept in the fridge in a jelly jar. And I keep it in a squeeze bottle. And I use it on things, but you don't have to use a lot of it, just a little bit. And if you don't want to use teriyaki sauce, maybe it's too much for you, you can always just drizzle a little low sodium soy sauce on your bowl. Oh, it's the pepper. It got me. Okay, sprinkle little scallions. I noticed there are companies out there now marketing Japanese teriyaki sauce, and one of them is Bachan's sauce, and it kind of cracked me up because that's the Japanese name for grandmother. And I thought, oh, somebody got their grandmother's barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, and is marketing it as grandma's sauce. So then I have some gomiso, which remember that is the roasted sesame seeds that I use on my daily greens. I think some of that on top of this would be excellent. Okay, so here we have our basic tofu bowl with rice. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that looks pretty good. That's like delicious looking. It's got nice avocado. But if you look under here, you've got a nice, we could get a bite with rice and tofu. Let's try it. And we've got the carrots and the zucchini and the cucumbers and the avocado that makes it a little creamy. But this is such a, to me, it's a comfort food. This is the kind of stuff that if I need to have a quick meal, a comforting meal, that's what I would make, is something like this, the Sesame Ginger Tofu Bowl with whatever vegetables I have steamed, a little bit of raw vegetables, and to me that's like the perfect meal. So I hope you make this. Remember, this ebook is part of the bundle, Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. And if you want to buy that bundle, if it's still available, if you're watching this during the bundle release period, be sure and use the link in the show notes because then I'll get credit for it, and I would appreciate that. If you're watching this at another time and all that's over with, you can get that ebook at chef-julia.com. And I'm working on turning it into an actual paper cookbook too, so that may be coming out. But it will be in the ebook, and you can get that from my website. So I hope you make this dish. Follow me on my YouTube channel, watch my videos. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm terrible at TikTok, but I'm on there. And I just really enjoy making plant-based dishes that people like to eat. And I also do in-person retreats. So if you want to come and cook with me in my kitchen here in Azle, Texas, look on my website under retreats and you can find out information about the retreats. They're 8 hours long and we cook. I teach you how to make food that tastes good, that you'll like, that you'll continue to eat this way and follow this lifestyle for a long time. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.